All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Cover to Cover. You're here with Mo.
And Andrea.
So today we want to talk about stamp-sized books, Anna Faris's new memoir, school district issues, Count Dracula, and more. Plus, we have a top 10 video for you, so stay tuned for that. But first, the world is amping up for the Harry Potter Library exhibition that's coming to the UK. There are so many amazing things on display there.
J.K. Rowling has been tweeting about how astounded she is at the collection. There's everything from broomsticks to dragon bones on display, and one thing Rowling was very excited about, the real-life Nicholas Flamel's headstone. The alchemist's grave marker can be seen in the flesh among all other amazing Harry Potter paraphernalia. They're really going all out for this, so what do you think about it?
So obviously I'm super excited because I'm like way too big of a Harry Potter fan to be missing this, which apparently I am because it's in the UK. They get all the good stuff.
But you're also really big into the whole Nicholas Flamel conspiracy theory thing, right?
Yeah, so he's definitely not dead, so that's really not his headstone, right?
Right.
Because he's eternally living.
And making a special appearance, dun dun dun!
Maybe he will. He'll reveal himself, finally. So.
And then we'll just have to wait for the tweets from J.K. Rowling or
right,
something.
That's the best we can do. That's the best we get. Well, speaking of cool things from the UK, a famous stamp-sized book can now be purchased.
The Queen Mary's dollhouse was designed and built by Sir Edwin Lutyens for the wife of King George V in the early 1920s. The house boasted amazing miniature features, one of which is a collection of books. One of the miniature books made was A Note of Explanation by author and poet Vita Sackville-West. The 39 by 10 millimeter book contained an 1,100-word story, and as of last week, a hardback publication sized 250 by 175 millimeters was made available.
So, first of all, how cute are tiny
Tiny
books?
things! And tiny books,
so
though, yeah.
tiny. And, like, how did they get the words so small?
I don't know. Yeah, what they got going on in the 1920s that,
Magic.
like, they had that word?
They've got magic, yeah, totally. But I think it's great that they're making those available now because it was for royalty. These books were specially made just for the royal families. So now it's kind of cool to see those published a little bit bigger, about 9 inches, right? So you can actually read them personally if you want to.
Yeah. Can you imagine just being royal and be like, I need this for my dolls.
Oh my gosh, right?
Famous poet author man. Yeah, it's so crazy.
So funny. So I'm excited about that. Well, let us know what you think of all the miniature books that we're probably missing out on. But right now, we're going to go take a quick break. And when we get back, we've got some more news for you, plus a top 10 video.
Woo!
So we'll see you then. Well, out this week, Anna Faris's new book, Unqualified, is giving us a taste of her Hollywood reality.
Faris famously split from husband Chris Pratt recently and has been getting a lot of press as her new book tour launched. Faris has said that she thinks the timing might actually be perfect as she can smooth over fans' disappointment and let them know that everything is truly going to be all right. Pratt wrote the foreword for her book, and Faris has disclosed the book had to be heavily edited to correct her former husband in the stories throughout the book. Faris is using her book, her tour, and her podcast all as opportunities to paint a picture of her real life, which isn't as idealistic as people make it out to be. So check her out on her book tour and read up on her unqualified stories.
So I love Anna Faris, and I think that it's so great that she uses this word unqualified to be the basis for every advice that she gives and everything. She's like, so I'm not the best person, but here's what I think you should do.
Yes, and she's amazing and hilarious, and her podcast is Anna Faris is Unqualified.
Yeah, and we love her podcast. Like, we talk about it all the time.
I know. She has a hilarious podcast, so if you are new into the podcast world and you're looking for something super entertaining, check that out. Check her book out. She was just in Austin this week, and we missed it, but you guys might be able to find her in a city near you.
Yes, she's touring all over, so be sure to look out for that.
Definitely.
Well, and I'm not sure if on her tour she's going to make a stop in Florida, but they're having their own issues with books right now.
Florida's Dixie School District has been given a directive by the superintendent. As of September 8th, 2017, no instructional materials purchased and or used by the school district shall contain any profanity, cursing, or inappropriate subject matter. The directive goes on to state that AP and dual enrollment classes may have reading requirements outside of this parameter, and those materials will be allowed to be purchased. I mean, what do you think about this intense directive?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I know you would not.
Yeah, so it just leaves a lot of gray areas because it's subjective to them. What do they consider inappropriate material, right? And this is what happened in Mississippi. They pulled To Kill a Mockingbird because they felt that the language made people uncomfortable, but you know, that's your opinion on that.
That's so true. And that can be taken so far in so many different classes. So, I mean, with literature, first of all, we need to be using literature to open up discussion topics and to be opening the floor for talking about these things. Literature is a huge tool. It's not something that we should not be promoting.
Right. And it's good to be uncomfortable. Like if something makes you uncomfortable, embrace that. Be a part of it.
Absolutely. And I think we should be giving our kids well-rounded education. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what about in science classes and health classes? Are they going to be skipping over chapters? And that, I mean, everyone
like that either. So, yeah.
Anyway, let us know what you guys think.
You know how we feel. Well, the Las Cruces School District in New Mexico is also undergoing a scandal of their own.
This time, it's the school district that is taking the heat. They recently settled with Stenhouse Publishers to the sum of $10,000 for illegally making copies of teaching books available online. The book Everyday Editing by John Anderson was made available on the district's website without license or permission. I mean, what do you think about this scandal? Should we be making texts more accessible, or do you think we're cheating the authors here?
I totally understand the argument that we could be cheating the authors, right, because they work so hard and they want their money, but also coming from a person who had to buy a bunch of books for school, it's really expensive, so I understand the need to get the information into the hands of the students, right?
I know. This is kind of a tough debate because, yeah, I mean, we do need to make things more accessible, and books are so expensive.
So expensive, especially scholastic books. Like somehow if you attach it to college or school, it's like an extra $75. I don't understand.
Yeah, but then at the same time, you know, the authors, I mean, who knows if they're making anything, especially with so many outlets now, like Amazon and all of that, like who's making what?
So what would have been better is if it was free to students online, but they had given money to the publishers. That probably would have made it better.
So Stenhouse Publishers obviously is suing, but it's really interesting because they, you know, had this whole deal, and then they're like, oh, but we'll give you a $5,000 credit if you want to like actually buy our books and, you know, get the license and all that.
So technically they're only paying $5,000 out of pocket and $5,000 for materials.
True.
So that's a good way to think of it. Glass half full. Well, people everywhere right now are getting ready for Halloween celebrations this weekend. And we needed to know, are you in need of a last-minute costume idea? Well, we got you covered.
We got you.
Check out our top 10 bookish Halloween costumes. Here are our top 10 literary ensemble Halloween costumes.
Number 10, the cast of Lord of the Rings. Whether you're dressing up as the Hobbit crew or repping Arwen and Aragorn, you can create a true fellowship with these various ensemble options.
Number 9, the cast of Harry Potter. Recycle those graduation robes and get with your friends and family to become your favorite witches and wizards. Dress in any combo, but don't forget to manage the mischief.
Number 8, the cast of The Cat in the Hat. Dr. Seuss is a great go-to for the colorful and dramatic option. Don a red and white hat as you bring rhyme and mayhem to the party.
Number 7, the Bennett sisters. Get your girls together and become the gossipy group who give us the scoop about Pride and Prejudice. You'll be flirty, witty, and silly as you dance the evening away.
Number 6, Tintin and Captain Haddock. From the adventures of Tintin, you can dress as this boisterous pair on a mission to find the truth. Even better if you have a little dog to play the part of Snowy.
Number 5, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe combo. Be a White Witch, a Queen Lucy, an Aslan, and more. There are so many pairings to celebrate C.S. Lewis's classic tale of magic.
Number 4, Max and the Wild Things. Possibly the cutest parent-kid combo available. Get dressed for an adventure into the wild, unknown, or as any of the other wild things and Max the King.
Number 3, The Outsiders Gang. Get your greasers together and prepare to stay gold as you become the coolest people at the party with this slick ensemble of misunderstood teens.
Number 2, Jay Gatsby and Daisy Buchanan. Dressing in 1920s garb is a great costume to repurpose over the years, and we will let you live as fabulously and carefree for a night as this troubled duo from The Great Gatsby.
And our number 1 pick is Princess Buttercup and Wesley. In honor of the 30th anniversary of The Princess Bride, there will inevitably be many couple costumes repping these fantastical lovers. Dress up as you wish and go on an adventure this Halloween.
Well, there you have it. Those are our top 10 literary Halloween costumes. Trick or treat!
Well, let us know in the comments what you're planning on being for Halloween and if any of these ensembles made the cut.
And speaking of Halloween-ish literature, you can spend some time getting in touch with Dracula right now. Some lucky winners of this past Airbnb contest have already gotten pretty close.
So back in 2016, Airbnb partnered with Dacre Stoker, the great-grandnephew of Bram Stoker, to host the 2 lucky winners who spent a night living as Count Dracula would with the spooky Bran Castle in Romania. The giveaway allowed for a horse-drawn carriage to bring you to the castle, where you explored the labyrinth before settling into a candlelit dinner. You would then explore secret passageways before cozying up inside your coffin for a night in the crypts of the dungeon. Would you be up for this spooky adventure? We'll definitely have to stay tuned for some more like future literary destinations.
Right, and so you can still actually book staying at that castle, you just can't go for free, and I am so there for it. I think it's so great. I would have to go with a huge group of people, though. I'm not talking like a 2-people situation.
I know. That, like, that would freak me out. I would definitely need a big group, but, like, everyone has to be, like, accounted for at all times. Like, it's like a big group, and we're all
You've got, like, a buddy so you can, like, keep track of each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that would be super awesome, but I don't know if I'm down for the whole, like, coffin scenario.
Yeah, I'd rather just make like a pallet on the floor personally, but I could sleep in a coffin. I don't know, we'd have to see what happened. But I think it's really cool to have spooky literary things that you can do for Halloween, and I feel like what a great Halloween trip to take with your friends, right? That would be so fun.
100%. Well, let us know in the comments if you would dare to stay at Bran Castle.
And thank you for joining us today. I'm Mo.
I'm Andrea.
And we will be back on Monday. So until then, keep reading, writing, and being awesome. I know we will.
Bye.
Bye.